Nanda Shura Chandra Gora Chandra Nityananda Nityananda Gora Chandra Nityananda Nityananda Gora Chandra Nityananda Nityananda Gora Chandra Nityananda Nityananda Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaur Chandra, Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaur Chandra, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaur Chandra, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaur Chandra, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaur Chandra, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaur Chandra. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra. Gauranga, Gauranga, Gaura Chandra, Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Oh, Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra. Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra, Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Ah. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Lord Caitanya, 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 Lord Caitanya. Lord Caitanya, Lord Caitanya, Lord Caitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Oh my Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Oh, my Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Gora Chandra. Gora Chandra, Gora Chandra, Gora Chandra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra. Nityananda, 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 Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra. Nityananda, 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 Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra, Gauranga, Gauranga, Gaura Chandra, Gauranga, Gaura Chandra, Gauranga, Gaura Chandra, Gauranga. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Ooh. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh man. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Yeah, heartache. It's not the regular heart. It's kind of like a new heart. Yeah. Heart within the heart. The spiritual heart. All right, Giant. Time to get a little I need to be a little sober here now. Giant Sri Chaitanya. Let's pounce on some gurus or something, some sannyasis and Brahmins. Actually, isn't that what the scriptures are always doing? They're always making, I mean, at least the scriptures I read, scriptures are always making fun of the Brahmins. Yeah. So I make fun of them and they blame me, Yeah. Well, she read this morning. I heard it right from her mouth, She read, she's a stereotype Brahmins, It's making fun of them, I mean, there's a certain point where you need to kind of, you kind of got to see that it's all false ego. All right, anyway. Okay, where are we at here? What is this? 7-1. Okay, do this. Okay, Veda base. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, Chapter 1, continuing on here. So Mars Parikshit is inquired, my dear Brahmin, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, being everyone's well-wisher, is equal and extremely dear to everyone. How then did he become partial like a common man for the sake of Indra, and thus kill Indra's enemies? How can a person equal to everyone be partial to some and inimical to others? I started to realize something just now. I was listening to a Wayne Dyer's thing came across my Facebook thing, and he was talking about unity consciousness, you know, and how everything is, we're all connected and everything is one. Everything this is that in kind of an in between stage between the world and Krishna is this unity, this oneness thing, this Brahman. It's kind of an in between stage, in between the both. You see how that works? It's in between is this unity, and that's where mankind basically is. And also was when Lord Caitanya appeared, people were at best in this Brahman level of this unity. That's the best. And now also people are striving for that, to see unity, because otherwise this stuff, the way the world is, everybody is so heavily identified with the modes of nature, either as a demon or a demigod. I mean, if you have some level of intelligence, you're like a human or a demon or a demigod or something, where you're a conscious person. You're identified over there. And then, but the problem is, this causes fighting and friction and all this. You don't see the unity. Even the demigods, they fight the demons. They don't see the unity there. Okay? So this was like, and what we're doing here is phenomenal. And just like what Lord Caitanya was doing here, phenomenal, is bringing people to understand the whole ball of wax, the whole thing, the whole picture. From eagle's eye view, the whole picture. How to become identified not just with unity consciousness, see, but identify with the transcendental Lord. That's why he comes here as a person, to show that he has personal qualities, personal attributes. See? And so you can, if you become attached to those, then you can have full realization. They call that Bhagavan realization. Understanding God as God is, understanding the real God. He's not a mystery now. He's, well, yes and no. I mean, he's always will be mysterious, and that's the beauty of it. But now you know him perfectly, and then tomorrow you'll know him even more perfectly, and the next day more perfectly. That's the fun, What else are you going to do as a conscious person? You got to have some fun. The Lord too. I mean, that's all he's doing. He's like to have a good time, man. Even when he comes here and fights, he's having a good time. It's a good time for him. He doesn't hate anybody, even here. Although hatred may come, he may, I hate you, but it's all purification. Now it's all pastimes to liberate the living entities back into our eternal position. We're meant to know that, Lord, to have a personal relationship. Even the Christians, they talk about have a personal relationship with God. I always like that. That's the one thing I liked about Christianity, is this idea of a personal relationship with the Lord. Bhaktivinoda also liked that. He loved that idea about the Christians. He said they're devotion. That's why he almost became a Christian, because a devotee wants devotional stuff, man, not just ritualistic stereotype, Brahmin stuff, or impersonalism. They want They want this inside. They just know they gravitate towards a personal relationship, and that's the great wealth here, man. You come here, this the whole point is to have a personal relationship with God forever. Yeah, we've got the greatest wealth here. Yeah. See, poor Bill Gates and these Faucis and the Trumps and the Bidens, they're all stuck, in this world identifying as a demon, and they don't even know it. They think they're good people, maybe. Who knows? But they're all identified with this. They don't have this knowledge. They don't have this information. They don't have this path. That's why you see the devotee themselves as the path. Their example is the path. You look at them and you say, you may not understand them, but you see something, like a fish, see something on land, in the water. They don't understand it. They're looking. That's what they look at a relationship between a devotee and this invisible friend that's not invisible to the devotee. It's kind of like Maria, she sees all these beings, I can't see them. She sees them. That's a relationship with God. People they see and they describe, but they don't quite see. But well, if you want to see and you want to experience and feel this relationship, you come in with people who have this relationship, which is pretty rare to find people who have a personal relationship with Lord Caitanya and Radha and Krishna, and is part of that family. Christians taught that if you wanted to become part of the spiritual family, you're an orphan, and you have to cleave yourself to the tree. You have to be connected to the tree again. You see all these analogies of universal truth. The devotees come here to this planet and they canvas for this, to get you out of illusion, and whoever is meant to come out will hear that voice. See, voice, word. Do you hear the word to come out? Are you ready to come out? The Lord knows who's ready. So we preach. Get them out. Get them on board. Okay, here we go. Yeah. How can a person equal to anyone be partial to some and inimical towards others? Next verse. Lord Vishnu himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all pleasure. Therefore, what benefit would he derive from siding with the demigods? What interest would he fulfill in this way? Since the Lord is transcendental, why should he fear the asuras? And how could he be envious of them? I just love this truth, man. The truth is so fantastic. It's so amazing. Why should Lord Vishnu, he's transcendental to the modes of nature, fear the demigods? I was wondering, why don't I fear things? Why? Why are you? I'm looking at you guys too. You seem to be getting overcome. You don't seem to be worried about this dire situation. Well, the Lord ain't worried. You're taking shelter of the Lord. You're actually showing. I'm looking at you guys. This, you people in these institutional Vaishnavism. You should be looking at this. You see people here that are actually the embodiments of these verses. They've actually shown you what real fearlessness is. They've taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in truth. See, in truth, in the conclusive truth. See, in ecstasy. They get the ecstasy because they hear the word of a real representative of that personality. You become fearless like the Lord is fearless. Amazing. This whole thing is amazing, man. It's like, whoa. Every day it's like deep, deep dives. Yeah, I love this. I got to read this again. How then did he become partial to a common man for the sake of Indra, and thus kill Indra's enemy? Again, I love this. See, to a common man. See, everything is, this way only the Lord recognizes the sun. See, the sun in this world is the manifestation of conclusive truth, and that's usually a person. See, that's the sun. Also, sun is the Bhagavatam. It's the sun. See, but people look at it and it's because of their mind is full of like speculations. It's whirlwind. They can't quite see it. It's shimmering. So yeah, you meet the sun, the devotee, speaks these truths, and basically we're relishing these truths. You got to relish, you got to taste them. They got to be like a fine wine, very intoxicating but very fine. It's just nature. It's not like this. It's not like speculation stuff. Just as it is, truth. Savor it, man. That's why we don't go very fast. I don't go very fast in the verses. Like in the snifter. How then can he become partial? For the sake, like a common man for the sake of Indra, and thus kill Indra's enemies. See, common man. Everything is common. Until you become a devotee of the Lord, you're just a common person. That's why you see, Prabodhananda Saraswati was glorifying the qualities of the devotees of Lord Caitanya. They just saw everything as, if you're not a devotee of the Lord, you don't know what devotion is. If you're not really a Christian, forget this Christianity stuff, Christians. No, unless you're a lover of God, one in particular manifestation, whatever it is, but you have pure love for the Lord. You're common, just a common person. That's why at Lord Caitanya, who they were devotees, they were associates of the Lord. They looked at people, they looked at demigods, they looked at these sannyasis as commoners, outsiders. And Prabodhana would preach right in his home. Yeah, he says they poo-pooed all those. These demigods are like whiffs. Who are they? Are they in charge of planets, astrology? Who cares about that? Just common, just common. There are many universes with common, beings like that. Demigods, demons. It's all common, man. But what is uncommon is a devotee of the Lord, man. They're very rare. Very uncommon to see a devotee chanting in ecstasy the name of God and relishing the transcendental qualities of the Lord. It's so uncommon that even the great, illustrious Acharya Dev can't even appreciate it. And the Jayapataka with thousands of disciples can't appreciate a sangha of devotees. We can't even get an invite who chant the holy name with great ecstatic devotion, like the associates of Lord Caitanya did 550 years ago. The ones they are worshiping, and adoring. Oh, Krishna, oh, Lord Chaitanya, give us the association of real devotees. Oh, yes, please help us. Oh, you're so great. And you're so blind. That's called hypocrisy. How do you get this way? You can get over hypocrisy like that. Otherwise, you'll never get over it. You got to meet the devotee if you give any respect. Wow, this is where God is working. Because if you see the symptoms of Sat, Chit, and Ananda manifested in some particular sector of this universe, and you give respect to it, you found the horn of plenty. You found the lottery ticket that wins 10,000 lotteries. You found reality in this universe of illusions upon illusion upon all unlimited illusions. And you found your deliverance. A blind guru cannot deliver themselves. You can have all these paramedical qualities. Lord Caitanya says, unless you are a devotee with real devotion, not practice devotee, practicing the rules and regular practicing. See, practicing guru, practicing follower. You're practicing to be devotees. You're practicing to be guru. You're practicing to be a follower. It's not real yet. You got to become a Maharaj Parikshit. You got to be an example of the Bhagavatam. You got to become a Bali Maharaj, an example of the Bhagavatam, a living example of a real disciple. These gurus and their followers are not real yet. You're real because you got the recipient. You received the mercy of a person like Maharaj Parikshit sit in front of a real empowered person here to deliver you like he was delivered. You're delivered. You have the symptoms of being delivered. They don't. They're commoners, outsiders. You're outside. Good. But don't be envious. You can come inside. This is how we open the door. We have to open the can first to get the contents outside. See? Everybody's a can of shit. That's the thing. Is a shit can. You ever heard that word? Can of shit. Everybody. These gurus, their followers are full of shit. Really? They're full of it. So we got to open the can. This is how we open the can. We empty the contents, the shit out, and fill it with bhakti, real bhakti, truth. Otherwise, it's just cans of shit walking all over this planet. Right, Amy? I'm sorry, man. You know, you can't, you'll never know the Lord unless you empty that can of shit that's inside. And you can't do it on your own. None of you can do it. Narayan Raj couldn't do it. He still had some in there. Because you got to meet that rare associate. Really, really empowered. That really does a job. When they preach the real truth, people get ecstasy. People get love of God, and they get prema that Narayan Raj couldn't do. Therefore, he had to get your attention for 20, 30, 40 years and give you hopium. Oh, well, just stick it out with me, and after many lifetimes, you'll get prema. Oh, you want to continue on that path, or you want to come over here? Let's empty the can, because he couldn't empty it. We empty the can here, see, and fill it with real bhakti. Purebhakti.com. Purebhakti.com, not calm, some calm cyber thing. No, come. It'll come to you. You feel it, man. People are feeling it here. People are getting it here. They're getting whatever words come out of you. They're manifesting. Ooh, wow. That's so funny. Shit cans. I don't know. I have to be a little graphic sometimes, Something about being graphic. It's shock and awe. You got to get people there. I can't believe I can just see these gurus. I can't believe he actually said that. Why isn't he being controlled? We're controlling all our followers, and he's not one of our followers. I don't follow shit cans, man. I empty them. I've come here to this. I have been anointed by the Spirit of the Lord to empty shit cans and gives and anoint them with the holy oil. Who's our first? I'm waiting for some sannyasi and guru customers here. Just give me one. Now, don't ask me where these things come from. I have no idea. I had no idea I was going to say that today. Matter of fact, I was praying, oh Lord, let me be a nice guy today. I always pray like that. Oh, let me be a people pleaser. Let me act, let me be a friend of everybody. And then I come here and do this. The Andromeda likes it. So no more shit cans, more Shakti cans. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, this is the idea. The incidental activity the Lord had to do was empty the shit cans. He had to destroy the demons. That's inside. You notice? The demons have to be destroyed inside. Right? And then he just fills us with bhakti. And then actually he doesn't even wait. He's like that story in the Bible, where the Christ was born in a barn because of with the beasts in there. The Lord didn't wait for to be born before everything was nice and clean and living in a palace, and then he'd be born. See, that's what everybody's expecting, right? Oh, look at our Guru days. They're in a palace. They got a palace, little external palace. Inside is not a palace. It's full of dead bones. Remember Jesus said that? Oh, yeah, you guys look really nice like palaces out there. Nice robes, very nice. It's always the same thing. Why does it never changes? Maya is Maya, man. Learn the lesson now. You don't have to repeat another. Come in again and see the Pharisees or the big sannyasis with the big false egos, living in the big palaces, sitting on the big seats. How many times you want to go? You can come over. We'll finish that one. You won't have any faith in that anymore. You have faith in reality, beyond that. That's only to control the neophytes. I got good news for you, neophytes. If you believe in this word, come with us if you want to live. This is life, man. You could be free. You don't have to follow them if you believe this word. Don't let them pull. We'll pull you this way. They'll pull you that way. They'll go. Don't go to Goar. Don't go over there. He's a demon. He's this. He's that. You see, he called us shit cans. And we're illustrious, and where don't you know you got to serve your guru forever? You never leave your guru. But Bali Maharaj left his guru. The wives of the Brahmins left their guru. And look what they got. They got the opportunity. You get the opportunity too. This is real Bhagavatam stuff, man. This is real time. These are the pastimes of the Lord in action, man. Bhagavatam in action. You all, yeah, ISKCON devotees, come on, man. You got the chance of the Bhagavatam. Anybody hear the message? Look at Bali Maharaj. He left a guru that was 1,000 times better than Acharya Dev. You can leave too. Anybody hear this voice over here? If you believe in this voice, you'll become like Lalita and chant in ecstasy. And Johan and others and River there. Look at her. She's in ecstasy. She's in a trance, a special trance. Who knows? Maybe one out of 1,000 of them will listen, will hear that, believe in this. Because if anybody comes and they listen and they realize, wow, this is the real Bhagavatam in action, you got to become one of those, and it could be very easy. Then you go from the lowest position, being controlled by religion and religious leaders, motivated religious leaders, all the way up to the ecstatic platform. That's what Lord Caitanya did then, and we're doing that again because we have the order. We have the empowerment. We just execute now. We execute Maya. And we institute bhakti. See, institution. We're going to institutionalize real bhakti instead of institutionalizing Maya in religion. We're kicking Maya out of religion. Pure religion, pure glories of it. It's correct. Our bodies are walking shit cans. Some cans pop open. So much shit. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So Lord Vishnu himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all pleasure. See, and self-realization is simply realizing that. See, that's the happiness of the Lord. See, realizing that the Lord is the reservoir of all real pleasure, eternal pleasure. See? And then you can see, oh yeah, okay, sense graph is very good and everything, but this is real, man. This is the highest pleasure. People have to see the example. How can you know what the highest? How can you know the Lord is the reservoir of pleasure? It's just a word. It's just a bunch of blind, talk. Oh, the Lord is reservoir of all pleasure. Well, let's see somebody in that reservoir. Let's see a reflection of being in the reservoir. Let's see some mirror of that, man. Otherwise, how knows? Here, the devotees. This is why I poo-poo you Narayan Raj gurus, and you followers. You know why I poo-poo you? I'll tell you exactly why. Because the reservoir, we're in that reservoir of pleasure, and you can't see it. You're blind. What are you, blind or something? Yeah. ISKCON, you go all these. I have to show you that what is this? You're worshiping Krishna, but you don't know the Krishna. You don't know what it is. How Krishna is a reservoir of all pleasure. You have to see the devotees who reflect that to you by chanting with ecstatic devotional with transformations in the body, proof that they are empowered by the transcendental Lord to do some significant work here, like delivering people that you can't do. Narayan Raj, I didn't see one person delivered there yet. And proof is, look at the followers. They don't like what we do. If you don't like the reservoir of pleasure that we're dipped into and dipping into, ducking into, like ducking swans into bliss, then you're an illusion still. What kind of guru are you now? When this exists, this preaching exists. Okay? When you don't find any beings ducking in that reservoir of all transcendental pleasure, you'll never have this preaching. Hey man, illusion is illusion, and how can I be preaching the Bhagavatam, as it is, unless you get the highest truth, which I just said right now, and distinguish it from illusion, being a blind leader. A blind guru representing Vrindavan and not representing, that's hypocrisy. How can I preach Bhagavatam if I don't go to such ends? See? Ends, and show you the real ruler, the real standard, man. I have to go to one end and all the way to the other end, even up into religion and its snakes and vipers that Jesus did, to show you real standard of what is really holy. The truth as it is holy. Ecstatic devotion, which ascertains it, is holy. The place where it is being propagated is holy. That's why it says when the talk, Bhakti Siddhanta said, the person speaking Hari Katha, wherever they're speaking, is a holy place. Because people speaking bullshit, even in the temples, religious temples, all that speculation is bullshit, man. The only one that should be sitting on the seat is an empowered devotee, man, on Vyasadev's seat. They're the only ones that are really higher than the common people in the world, the common religionists, the common sannyasis and all of that. You need somebody empowered by the Lord that represents Veda Vyas, part of that family. And that's just how it is. I mean, that's as it is. That was Prabhupada's standard, really. So, let's see. See, Srimad Bhagavatam is greatly pleasing to hear in a society of devotees. And if anybody, I don't care, you're follower in religion and everything, you don't like the real Bhagavatam, is because you're a shit can, man, still. You got a bunch of shit in your thing. You cannot take the truth because you're so full of speculations. We have to empty that out like this. Or empty some of your followers out of all they heard from you. They have to hear the real Bhagavatam. Whoever wants real grace, you want flowers showered down on you. You want to be really glorified. Well, you got to listen to the real deliverer in this world. You got to those empowered to deliver you. If you listen there, oh yeah, the demigod said, "Wow, you heard that 1 in a million persons, and you're following that voice." See, then you get the benediction of God. Always not. You'll just be one of those commoners. They're all common religionists and religion in Vaishnava religion or Christianity. They follow the common voice. They're always same old, materially motivated preachers and sannyasis and Brahmins. It's common. The multitudes follow them. They believe, oh yeah, they represent God, even though they don't. Representing God means representing Shuddha Bhakti or Satchidananda. It's a manifestation in a body in this world. You know, the spiritual body is living inside a physical form. See, the eternal body is awakened, ascertaining the chit, the true conclusive understanding of what is as it is. Highest truth distinguished from reality to teach the souls in the world. See, and the Ananda, the ecstasy, the Radha principle, the Caitanya, Lord Caitanya principle. This is my holy home place. This is my holy home place. This is my home. Yes, exactly. I like this. Lord Vishnu himself, the Supreme Personality, is a reservoir of all pleasure. So Lord Caitanya came 550 years ago to make it easy for us to go and dip into that reservoir of all pleasure and experience reality forever. There's no other incarnation that made it so easy. Look at Kapila Dev, another incarnation of the Lord. Oh, mother, his own mother. Oh, mother, you sit in this cold water for 20 years and then you'll understand some of my pleasure. But you do austerities for a long time hard. So what Kapila Dev made very difficult to attain, Lord Caitanya made very easy. Oh, just associate. Lord Caitanya taught himself. Chaitanya Bhagavat all over the place. Oh, Lord Caitanya as example. Oh, he folded the clothes of the devotees. He listened to the devotees and said, oh, I'm so fortunate to be instructed by those who actually know Krishna. Oh, this is so beautiful. I'm going to get Krishna because you're instructing me. Or he would fold the clothes and give them Ganga water. And they go, what are you doing? Well, by serving you, I'm going to attain Krishna. The Lord, by his own example, showed the way. Therefore, we show the way also. You show the way better than me. I had this, obviously, probably past life or something. It just kind of came naturally. But look at you showing the way. You're serving a real devotee empowered. You believe in their word because you checked it out. You checked these other gurus out. Lalita looked at a lot of these people, talking to her, telling her to clean toilets and everything and acting superior and all that, but not being superior, not having superior knowledge, not having superior ecstasy, and becoming convinced. See, that's why this is Sadhu Sangha. This is why we preach the highest truth. This is, I'm teaching Chaitanya Charitamrita principles. This is chapter 1, man. You should be looking. I'm talking to you, ISKCON devotees, you Gaudiya Samiti. I don't care how big you think you are. You're pretty small fries now, and I'm going to prove it. I'll prove it more and more all the time, that you're just small fries. Just admit it, and then you can understand what real knowledge is, because you got to hear it from an experienced devotee with real bhakti. Otherwise, you know nada. You're just a memorizer, memorizing this and memorizing that, and then you get a big false ego, and you get a nice cloth, and you get more false ego, thinking you're a great devotee or something. But like this hypocrisy. Got my point. What was my point? Anybody remember? What was my line of thought? I got lost. Maybe it'll come back. Okay.
What you were saying about proving
What you
your
were
point
saying about proving your point
to the Vaishnavas, and you'll
to the
prove it to them.
Vaishnavas, and you'll prove it to them. Ah, yeah. Okay. Well, thanks. Let's see if it comes back. Lord Vishnu himself, the reservoir of all pleasure, therefore, what benefit would he derive siding with the demigods? Again, it's a great question because, what benefit? See, everybody's thinking, what benefit would you derive, right? We're all looking for self-benefit, right? Everybody looking. Yeah, it's just natural. What benefit would you derive, Yeah. So the benefit, what is the benefit of the Lord to side with demigods? Get more friends, man. He's living in the hearts. He's tired of being bored. He's tired of being looking at over the activities of fools, his misled, parts and parcels that Maya's misled them. So, what benefit would it? Well, he gain more friends. More people, and that's the happiness of the Lord, is the happiness of a realized soul, realizing the happiness of the Lord. The happiness of the Lord is to be with the Lord. The happiness of the Lord is to be with his devotee. It's just natural. And everybody is being misled in this Maya, looking at the happiness of being with Maya. I mean, that's our situation. Always looking, oh yeah, let me be with my Lord in his illusory form. And you know what happens? You become stupid. You become less intelligent. And the more attached you are to the illusory form of God, because you're a devotee, you have to be attached to the form of the Lord. You go down into the progressive, going down from a demigod down into the demons, to the very ignorant species, by being attached, to the Lord in that Mayic form. That's very dangerous. So the Lord, out of his spiritual pleasure, comes in. He has his pleasure pastimes here. And just by enjoying, like relishing the truth, like preaching and chanting the names and the ecstatic relish and all that stuff, he delivers people just by being in that energy. People see reality. You may not even understand reality, but you make devotional progress by seeing a devotee in ecstasy. That's when I started to really do it. When I got the order, and then I started to read in the books that Lord Caitanya started to show this reality. Reality is ecstatic worship of the Lord. See, that's what they do in the spiritual world. Thy will be done on earth as it is in Vrindavan. They're in Vrindavan. They're ecstatically worshiping the Lord like you see here. My God, you get such a preview here. That's why people, they don't understand Vrindavan. You can get people stay in Vrindavan 20 years, and then they come here and they see what it is to worship in the Vrindavan mood and the bhav and all that, and they don't understand. But lucky are the babes, the babes like what's her name here? What's your name here? Amy's and Fanny's and Freddy's. See, Amy, Fanny, Freddy. Let's see how fast you can say it. Amy, tongue twister. Amy, Fanny. Ooh. Amy, Fanny, Freddy, Andromeda. Yeah, they come, they get it so easily. Yeah. Like Jesus, the same thing. It's always the same thing. Jesus praying, "Oh Lord," because he got this realization that we also have. It's always the same. It's a family realization. family affair. O Lord, I see it as right that you withhold this understanding from the wise, and you've given it to the babes. Always the same. Look at Amy. What is she? Just an ordinary person. A little food service worker. But look how nice she is. Oh, look at Fanny. So simple. See, the Lord is it. They know it in their heart, right? It's not okay. I'm preaching this, but I'm just commenting what I see manifesting. See, from the index of their word and their face and their happiness, all that reflects what's going on inside. See? And to show you how dark it is, these people in religion, they can't even see the beauty of these persons like this. They're so blinded by their name and fame and brightly colored doties, gold rings, big positions and lots of followers. They're blinded, but they can't see what is really beautiful like this. Look at her face. This is the only thing that'll turn the face of Lalita to look poo. Blah. Otherwise, she's always got this bright. Even then, she's got bright, beautiful face. Boy, again, Amy, Fanny, Freddie. It's right. Wow, this is so pleasing to the heart, these things. Okay. Therefore, what benefit would he derive siding with them? What interest would he fulfill in this way? I remember when I was listening to this, these Amala Bhakta Das tapes, I remember exactly where I was listening to it and loving it. I was just walking through the desert, over there in the Safford, and with my headphones on, listening to this beautiful. I was saying, oh, this is so nice. And now I want to, because I said, oh yeah, I want to read this part. I want to relish this again. See, this is bhakti, man. These verses are full of life. So full of life. Yeah. What interest would he fulfill in this way? Since the Lord is transcendental, why should he fear the Asuras? And how could he be envious of them? Prabhupada said about his godbrothers, actually. He noticed that they were envious. Maybe, he said, maybe only one wasn't. Because he saw, devotees, they look by, they can see the energies, they see the potencies in the world, they see worldly, and they see the false ego. They literally, they see, but like in the spiritual, they see the spirits. They can see the nature of the spirits in this world. So there's a spirit of envy, and they say, "Oh, the spirit of envy is it?" And they're not the world. The common devotees, they're not really. They're aspiring to be devotional. Okay, these are people. they're pious. They come to religion. See, but they can't see the false ego in their leaders. They can't see the envy, jealousy, and false prestige in them. They just look at the cloth externally vision. See, but the Prabhupada, that's why you can get benefit. You see through the eyes of people who see for a while, and then you get the vision. Okay, Prabhupada said, look, they're manifesting envy. A real Vaishnava is not envious, is not envious. See, he's saying right there, unless you have transcended envy, you're not really a Vaishnava yet. But there's another way to translate. You, even with a little envy, Lord Caitanya says, is looking, oh, are you a devotee of a devotee? Oh, I won't wait for you to be perfect. I'll jump in you as a gardener, and I'll start gardening away all that stuff. See, otherwise you got to try to become non-envious, and good luck with that. Look at the God Brothers. They did rules and regulations and austerities and their mantra chanting for 50 years. And Prabhupada said, oh, look, they still got envy. But look at the people here. They're getting over. If they have any, they get over it more and more faster. And the Lord ain't waiting to jump inside. They just said, oh, you're really trying to surrender to my devotees. And they're preaching and you're trying. And oh boy, hey, man, I won't wait before I go in there and clean house. That's the beauty of being here. You want to speed up your process? You want to get into the kingdom? Probably in this life. Yeah, and you'll know because it's very clear. Bhagavatam said if you evince the symptoms of ecstasy, tears in the eyes, choking in the voice, and all these other symptoms, developing more and more and more, you promoted to the kingdom of God. That's what you get as a promotion here. Oh, you don't get it with Trump or Biden or with Fauci's or with any of these Trudeau's, all these famous leaders in the world. You don't get this kind of promotion. You want to get the highest promotion in the world, you come here and you'll get promoted to the kingdom of God very easily. If you don't evince the symptoms of ecstasy, you could be a Charya Dev. If he doesn't cry for Krishna and have ecstatic symptoms, he is not going into the kingdom. You can cheat yourself there, Acharya Dev and Jaipatakas and all that. But if you don't have, I'm still don't. This is not offensive. This is truthful because you can look at your own experience, and if you got them, you're going in. If you don't, you're not going in. The Bhagavatam says you don't get in there. And Gaur is just repeating the Bhagavatam as it is. So there's no offense here. There's no, this is truth. I'm saying, your truth is no respecter of your big positions in this world. No, do you cry for Krishna? Do you have ecstatic symptoms? Then you enter the kingdom of God. Don't tell me you read the Bhagavatam, 2 hours a day for 20 years and you don't understand that. That means you need help. So don't give me Gohari's offensive. I'm truthful, that's all. And it's about truth. The truth will set you free. What good is it to wander in your illusion your whole life and your neophyte disciples saying, oh my God, give me mercy, and you don't have any mercy to give. If you got tears in your eyes, you choke up when you chant the holy name of the Lord, okay, you're promoted and you should be happy. Oh, good, thank you. You're saying what I was thinking. But I don't think they think like that because I haven't seen any symptoms. Again, another Charya Day. I was looking today. I seen them there, dry eyes, dry everything. Just a nice, talking, joking and stuff. But where's the ecstasy? Where's the deep revelations that come from ecstasy? Uncommon Krishna conscious understanding. Where's the boldness, the fearlessness? If you're in that reservoir of fearlessness, the Lord, where's that manifesting in you? Or you're preaching. See, like Balaram and Madhusudana do. I think he's like that too, and I'm here to help him if he wants. I'll tell him the truth. I'll tell everybody the truth. It's not about being everybody's friend. It's about being truthful. If Balaram is off, you tell him he's off. Not, well, nice, give him a like. I'm not a suitor, that's why I give him give a like on Balaram's bullshit. Yeah, right, like that. See, listen to Lalita Madhusudana. Yeah. And anybody else like you, people pleasers, don't do that, man. Be bold for Krishna, tell the truth. You'll see. Yeah, Balaram will probably hate you for it. Maybe not. I think he likes when I challenge him a little bit. He likes the challenge. It's good. I forgot. I want to thank him. Both of them. Madhusudana too. I thank you all for being examples that, we can learn Krishna consciousness from all of us. So that's just, if any of us take offense, that's our growth. That's the false ego getting purified. We're all Bhagavatam examples. Yeah, lucky for us. Andromeda replying to Amy Rose. Amy Rose, that declaration just cured my attachment to the illusory empathy. Thanks. Oh, let's see what Amy said. When Dear Shura's words has, when Dear Gora Haridas, a word says, I have a warm glow around my heart day by day. Oh my God. Yeah, that's Krishna. See, she's sensitive. See, those who hear the good news, they're in touch with their hearts, and they say, oh yeah, my heart's touch. See, that's those who hear the good news easier. The others, we got to clear the channel, man, empty the cans.
That's being like a child, not
like a child, not worse. Yeah. So they come first, usually. The babes, they're very easy to hear the good news. Yeah. Replying to Amy Rose, I've never heard my heart beat like this. So amazing. What is Amy saying? Look at it. Amy's inspiring a lot of people. See? I'm telling you, this is all it's because of faith, because he hears and comes regularly. There's got to be a result. And it's not material, is it? Spiritual. See? That's the result, is you inspire people by your word. Just like Jesus did. Just like any devotee does. That's the fruit. Is you're inspired, that word inspires you. That's why devotees chant in ecstasy. They're words that become used by God to lift them up. Here you become a gardener too, like the Lord is. See, you become a gardener. You feed Krishna in your own heart. That's why, and this goes on forever, this relationship. It is so pleasing to the heart, you are right. This preaching rocks my world, literally. Is the game changer. Yeah, it's called divine intervention. Who's going to help these guys? Blind leaders and blind followers. Unless there's some divine intervention here. Huh? Some bold preaching. As long as I keep dipping in that reservoir. Dipping my wick in that divine reservoir. Then we have some glow. Have some glory to preach, huh? Oh, Janardhan, what's he say? Why is this chanting so transformative? It changes my emotional state in an instant. Yeah. See, because you have to be an example. You see, everybody that's a good example, you can see how they act. See, it's the deed. It's all in the deed. I don't look at the show. I'm looking at the show. The deed becomes the show. That's what to be shown. When the Lord, when you show that you're acting according to the real path and you're trusting the real process, it shows in the world. Not everybody sees right away, but still you're showing the real process. You become the walking Bhagavatam. That's all it is you become like those devotees. That's why you get the same kind of result, right? What do you think? Why was Shukad or Maharaj Parikshit able to go into the kingdom of God in 7 days? Because he heard from Shukadeva Goswami. And he heard attentively. See, why are you going into the kingdom of God now without dying? Because you heard attentively. from the right source. Because if you're listening to persons, if Acharya Dev or Radhanath is speaking to you even nicely and humbly, like Devananda Pandit did with his, and no spiritual fruit is coming, like this ecstasy, well, you just may be with the right man, righteous, a good person, good guru maybe even, but all you get is good results, Brahmin, or, become this puffed up sannyasi or something. And you will probably get puffed up, because how can you not when people, oh, Guru Dev, deliver me? Oh, you got to relish some ras. If you can't relish the divine ras, you're going to get puffed up and jealous and all kinds of stuff. You got to taste something, man. And that's why Raghunath Das said name and fame is poison. He called it donkey urine, people drinking that. And because if you get a position like a spiritual master in the Gaudiya Vaishnava where people are worshiping you, you're getting a position. No, you see how much false ego Trump has. But nobody's bowing down to him like a guru, a Vaishnava guru. And you think you're going to escape that? You're getting poisoned. That's why you gurus are advocating that, because you're already poisoned with the false ego. You're taking worship. How can you escape being poisoned by name and fame when you got Guru Dev, deliver me, and you're there, and you can't taste this transcendental ras? Yeah. How can you not? This is the only thing pure. Is this reservoir of Krishna that we've opened up to, that the Lord has opened up to us, and we've opened up to the Lord, is the only thing that can dissolve the ingloriousness of name and fame, the false ego of it. See, this is the only thing that purifies the heart. So you can read the chant of Srimad Bhagavatam as it is. What good is it to be a guru or a follower of such a guru that can't understand the Bhagavatam that they're preaching to you, because their heart is not purified by bhakti, pure bhakti, this worshiping in ecstasy. The Bhagavatam says right there, chapter 1, the first canto, second verse, only the pure in heart can understand this Srimad Bhagavatam. It is only ecstatic worship that purifies the heart, not Brahminical principles. No, not enough. The Lord said even a Brahmin, perfect as they are, cannot, if they don't have this prema awakened in their heart, cannot purify themselves or anybody else. So even going to a good guru, follower of the Vedic principles and all that perfectly and everything, you're not getting purified. Not on the standard of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we're here to preach. We're here to preach the highest standard. Why? Because we're living that highest standard. We're being purified by that highest standard. Therefore, we can understand it and preach it. Nobody else can, unless your heart is purified by prema. Prema is love for God, life's ultimate achievement. Chapter 23, Majalila. Okay? And if you have those symptoms, sometimes you laugh and cry and all these beautiful things, being in that, dipping into that reservoir of transcendental pleasure. Okay, what else? Oh, greatly fortunate and learned Brahman. Narayan is partial or impartial. Oh, whether Narayan is partial or impartial has become a subject of great doubt. Kindly dispel my doubt with positive evidence that Narayan is always neutral and equal to everyone. See, so that's a great question. You see, the Maharaj Parikshit understood up to that point, but only a devotee can dispel your doubt, a living devotee. Because they're connected and empowered by the transcendental potency. The Lord knows everything. And a devotee can know because of their communication with the Lord. They're connected to the library there. See, they become like a librarian in this world. A librarian tells you, where is that book of knowledge? Oh yeah, go over here, See? So the devotee is kind of like another hat, a librarian. You need some knowledge, you go to the librarian. There's even a TV series called The Librarian. This guy comes out, they have all the information. You got to go to the librarian. It's very mystical too, the show. That's the idea. You go to a bona fide guru. They bring forth, they clarify what has been said before and bring forth new things. Okay, the great sage Sukadeva Goswami said, "My dear king, you have put before me an excellent question." Do you like these questions? I love these questions. To understand the deeper nature of God, why he does things. People don't have any attraction for this generally. They don't care what God is, why he does what he does. I care a lot. I want to know. Are you like that? You want to know more about who God is, what he does, what is his nature, what is the nature of this illusion? But you can't do that through speculation. You have to, it only comes by grace and by mercy. And by the Lord revealing it and becoming a devotee. All these things we teach here is how to become a devotee, how to get your heart so you can hear transcendental knowledge and you can feel transcendental knowledge, the beauty of it. Discourses concerning the activities of the Lord in which the glories of his devotees are also found. Everybody, you can ask yourself, does what we do line up with that verse, with that sentence? Discourses about Lord Krishna in which the glories of the devotees are also found. Is that perfect here? Are we perfectly in alignment with that verse? Or that sentence? In which the glories of the devotees are also found are extremely pleasing to the devotees. Oh, that's what I'm noticing about you. You guys seem to like these topics also. You must be real devotees. That's why I take your association. That's why I was so happy, with Maria the other day when she said, God, I feel like I'm missing something because I feel a little cut off. And then we discussed the glories of I feel the life again. Oh, I love people like that. Oh, this is a family member. This was proving to me, this dispels all my doubts. This person's a devotee. Otherwise, if I don't see that, I think, this person is not connected yet. But if I see a person who feels the glories of the Lord, it gives them life. That's a devotee. Oh, that's the association. I want association with people like that. I thought, wow, she's real. Otherwise, I always have doubts about people unless they love the glories of the Lord. It gives them, it's like food for them. They feel alivened by that. There's great association. And I don't look, are they perfect? Are they attached to this or attached to that? Who cares, man? The Lord loves them. The Lord, they get life from the Lord. They're the best. So they're pure devotees in that sense. I don't look at the coarse edges. That's why the Lord uses me as guru. Otherwise, this would never fly. If we looked at each other's fall, if you didn't have at least one person here holding the real line, everybody would be scattered. Oh, look at her, look at him, they got this, they got some envy, they got it. Yeah, you got to, the Lord gives me the ability to look beyond that. I'm looking like, where is the Lord inside that person, inside that person, inside that person? If the Lord is good with that person, I'm going to be good with it too, because that person is being fed. I mean, that's the lesson the Lord has taught me, and you're going to learn this lesson too. So you can also be gurus. Otherwise, you can't. You won't. You won't be able to hold people together. You don't know what is the glue. The glue is love for the Lord, attraction for the Lord. Forget about the crust. You notice soft bread has a crust. And actually, the Lord, he likes the bread and the crust. I'm telling you, he does. I also like the crust and the bread. That's what the Lord is teaching me. And I'm going to make sure you guys learn this lesson too. He likes the crust and the bread of his devotees. If you're a non-devotee, that's another thing. This is why you can't be too attached to the, Shastra says. Freddie said to me to prove his point, Shastra says. I said, well, there's another deeper level to this of Shastra says. Even the Shastras don't understand Lord Caitanya very deeply or much at all. His nature and how he thinks. I'm just learning myself. I'll never stop learning. It's so deep. Such wonderful topics always counteract the miseries of materialistic way of life. No wonder we come here, huh? No wonder. Now I see why we counteract the miseries of material life. See? And if you don't have sadhu sangha like this, your miseries remain. You can't counteract it. All you can do is put band-aids over it. All you can do is go to a psychologist and they'll help you for a time, or some kind of band-aid, some kind of mundane knowledge, some mundane respite. This is the way to have your material miseries gone, by the truth. You come here regularly, you'll never want to really read any other book. Why would you want to read a book of illusions? People, and live in a material life and no connection. A lot of times they have no connection with the spirit. They don't speak in terms of that. Therefore, there's no life in their words. It's all illusions. See, only the devotees, like when I watch a movie or something, I see how it's connected to the truth. But until you're purified, you have to, hear from a real devotee to connect everything. Otherwise, you're living a disconnected life. You're only connected to the Lord's Maya, and you stay like that for lifetime after lifetime. You have to see the Lord's Maya in relationship to the eternal truth. See, then now you have your understanding, you're learning something, you're discovering. Let me offer my respectful obeisance unto Sri Vyasadeva, and then begin describing topics concerning the activities of Lord Hari. Yeah. Okay, reaction. Give us a word, Lalita.
Yeah, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, Guru Maharaj.
Oh, this is Loud, hè? En echt zo.
Let me mute my mic.
Yeah. Is it better now? Is it better now? Yeah. Yeah. Krishna is extremely merciful, extremely merciful to come back over and over again, to give you the order to do this. And no doubt, if you know that he's omnipotent and the supreme personality of Godhead, you've got to believe in his mercy and not in your own works and not in your own efforts and your own austerities, etc., etc. You've got to understand it's all about him and he's doing the job. I was talking with a lady this morning, a Swedish lady. She says that she's ecstatic as well. She doesn't want to say who gave it to her. It's a secret. So we will talk later. We will talk later. You know her? Maybe. Yeah. But then you went live. I had to stop the conversation. But she said she got it from somebody. Somebody gave it to her. So I really want to see who it is. She doesn't want to say the name, but I really want to know how this worked and how deep this ecstasy is. Is she laughing and crying? Does she have these revelations, etc.? We never know. But this is so. These experiences that I have, this understanding that I have, the explanations that I get from the Lord, how He shows Himself to me, how He gives Himself to me. It's a present that I never deserved, that I would never be capable to attain this. This is just a fantastic path. Just follow the shepherd as a sheep, and everything will be okay. The Lord is doing all the rest. Yeah, it's just fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, she and others sometimes get something, but it's they don't see what's going on here. Like I've been preaching for years. She's been connected with my Facebook for years, but she can't appreciate what's going on here. And I could see, there's a crust there, a covering, and it's so they get something and they think, it's but unless they get the association, they will not develop it. She's, that's why she talks like she does. You'll see as you talk with her. You'll see.
Yeah, there was a man.
There was a man.
He was talking to a devotee who has been blocked by you, and then you added them again because he was talking with me.
What was that?
And
Say that.
there is a devotee, a Spanish one, and you blocked him because he was blaspheming our Sangha. And then later he started to communicate with me. Then I asked you to give him the mercy to come back. He came back a few times here in class, but now he wrote to me that he doesn't want to follow anymore. I had long conversations with him. He glorifies that lady. That's why to talk with her.
Is it Fernando or something? Fernando? Oh, that guy. Yeah, he became very mean, and started criticizing stuff. And I also, I thought, this is really, and I actually told him, I said, I'll give you another leeway, but yeah, he was very he really attached to this Vaidhi thing and criticizing the way I am, with people and stuff. And I thought, he didn't have a good friendly attitude. I thought, I almost wanted to just take him out, just disgusted actually. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, let's see. A lot of times it's purification. If he's sincere, he'll get through it. If not, he might be just... Anyway, everybody, they take this as much as they can and have to deal with their attachments. He's really kind of attached to having things a certain way. And then he started to criticize what I was doing. I knew I didn't feel good about that. I thought, I didn't even like, when people are like that, it's like, oh, okay. You're just not kind of like, okay. You're not, it was very, that's the thing, these logicians and now they think they have knowledge, and they want to be equal. Yeah. So anyway, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I was wondering why he didn't take me off. He's still my friend, there must be something there. He's probably still wondering. Maybe.
Yeah, you edit him again.
Yeah, I had him. He didn't take himself off. So let's see. See what happens.
Yeah, I remember when I was visiting the Turkish devotees. They also had all of them had that reaction. Are you going to tell me that you are perfect because you have prayed and you love and cry for the Lord? Are you going to tell us that you're perfect? They don't believe in that mercy. They don't believe. They don't understand that actually Lord Caitanya came to give it. Still. So yeah.
That's like that verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says, though if you don't believe in the mercy of Lord Caitanya, they have the same problem. People no, you can't get it that easy. It's not possible. And so that mercy is here again, and it's always going to be the same thing. There'll be a section of people, but usually the student community, no, it's not possible because their gurus, like Narayan Maharaj, say, oh no, prema is so high, it takes me, you got to be so perfect, you got to be. So the Lord has given that perfection. And they say, no, you got to attain that perfection by chanting your 1 lakh. That was a contamination that came into the Vaishnava Sangha right after the departure of the Lord. The real devotees separated themselves from those persons. And so now we have our whole line is filled with those persons. They're the false followers. This Sangha is probably the only real followers in Vaishnavism, unless they prove otherwise. But I still haven't seen anybody. And they can't believe it. But that's how it is to find those who have the real recipients of Lord Chaitanya's mercy and preach it. I mean, that's why I'll just continue to preach and I'll just keep pointing in people's nose in the books, Prabhupada's books, and saying, don't you see, this is the mercy of Lord Caitanya. He gave this as a gift, this prema, and we're giving it as a gift. You see, this is real prema. This is what the book, the real anointing, the real empowerment of Lord Caitanya is here, and the blessing of the disciplic line is here. And until people prove otherwise, I'll say it's only here. Prove otherwise. I mean, it's not megalomania. I think this is a logical, intelligent way to approach. Unless you prove otherwise, people should all come here if they want the mercy of prema. Because we're preaching it. Doesn't matter, it might be somewhere else. Might be. Well, it's here. Come get it here if you want prema. Because it's being given out. You guys are witnesses. So we just go on with our sadhu sangha and bold, truthful preaching. And the truth will set people free. People are coming. Look, I got 18 people, 20 people. Go ahead, what?
Yeah, they have no idea about the process. That's a problem. No idea how this works. That's a problem.
Yeah, if they come here, you'll be schooled on the process. See, because we're teaching what Prabhupada called postgraduate. Unless you actually have a teacher, you will not be able to advance. Look at Balaram, same old. He hasn't changed really much. He can't. None of them can. See, you have to hear from those teaching the as it is, and that's speculation. All he'll do is just revolve in speculation until he gets sick of it. Some point he'll get tired of it. Who knows how long it'll take? Because it's empty. Really, I mean, it's like like you're telling me, if he gets one person to chant Hare Krishna, he thinks that's a big deal. How can you be so, like?
Easily satisfied.
Easily satisfied. Yeah, easily satisfied. Yeah, well, until he gets a little bored of that. So anyway,
Maharaj,
there are people that they come. Maharaj. Yeah, go ahead.
So if Balaram was ecstatic and he was getting people to chant, that would be a big deal. Would that be a big deal?
Yeah, but get them to chant, but they would be chanting with taste more. He would get, if he was ecstatic and getting people to chant, they would have taste, real taste. But him, it's okay if they get him to chant and then they go back to their mundane life. He's still okay. Oh well, at least maybe some lifetime they'll get a human body or something. Prabhupada's old preaching. So give us a word there.
Realized, been schooled by my spiritual master, realizing the ultimate goal of life just happened now. One's experience is the ultimate goal of life. That has happened here because we have been schooled by you, by being such a great teacher, and being so and knowing everything that you're teaching to us. The ultimate goal of life has been realized. Why do I want to do anything else, really? There's nothing that's given me this taste. And look at what Amy's saying, and Fanny, the taste that we're getting here, that taste, which is the Lord's mercy. Wow, Maharaj, just living that life. I've always wanted to do that, where I've seen films where they like speaking, walking scripture. That's always been really, really attractive to me. It is really, and it's happening. It's real. A little bit is so much. A little drop is just so much, and there's just so much more to go. And being what was that? Listening every day and being connected. You see when you're not, and when you see when you are. And you see when you are. Am I hearing? Okay, I had this revelation last night about how the distinction between Maya and spiritual, and how you are still run by Maya at times, and how you are in the spiritual. That transition was a lot clearer to me than before, and it's now my choice how much I want to be in this Maya, and into the spiritual. And this has all been made clear because of being shown. And it's a wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Everything that Lolita was saying, perfect. And I feel really, really lucky, because I was thinking it just came. I wasn't thinking when you was talking. I've always just had, I used to have a gang of people that I used to hang around with. It was just like our gang, and I actually consciously left it. I said, I don't want to be part of this anymore. I didn't know why, but I didn't want to be part of this. And now I have the real gang, the real spiritual family, and it's just, it's so wonderful. It's real life. It's true life. Everything else, I see there's a lot of, in my life here, there's a lot of reflections, that have been showing me the spiritual world. And really, my life is, what can I say? I'm here all the time. It's the greatest thing ever. The changes are brilliant. I have great friends, because always in my set of friends that I was in, this little gang, I always had usually one or two really intimate relationships with them. Not all of them, but really intimate relationships. And it's kind of happening, real, true, intimate relationships. So I kind of felt like I was guided to just give up everything. And naturally, for some reason, and I didn't know why I did it, I would leave people. I wouldn't really be friends with them anymore. But it just led me to this. I don't want to leave this. I want to have deeper friendships, and yes, it's all because of the mercy coming of Lord Caitanya coming through you. You are the physical, living, breathing Bhagavad, and it's really working. The verses, that are read, they're just coming to play. They're just coming alive and to play more than, and for me anyway, more than before. So much more than before. That it is a ride, and it's music. It is real music because the Lord is inspiring and giving that knowledge, whilst just being a great student, Maharaj. I've studied a lot of different things because of being unwell, and always had kind of deeper relationships with the teachers who have been giving me that information, that study. And here, to have a relationship with you, and we all do, with the greatest teacher that's given us the greatest wealth. Wow, what more can I say? It's just revealing itself all the time now. The Lord is revealing himself, like you were saying earlier, deeper and more. And I'm learning about the Lord, and I didn't expect any of these things. I didn't know actually what I expected. Maybe, yes, to be transcended from the miseries that happen here, and that has happened. And there's been so much more embracing the Lord, so much more, because he's real and you can feel him, and he shows you and he transforms you and uplifts you all the time. And it's absolutely brilliant. Maharaj, thank you so much. Yay. Thank you to Shila Gorahari.
Well, yeah. What we're doing is what liberated souls do. When they're on the planet, is this discussions. This is what Rupa Goswami was doing with his group. They just be talking about Krishna and great transcendental happiness. This is what the Shamananda, Narottam, and Srinivas would do with their disciples. They would just sit around and do what we're doing, and with great transcendental pleasure. See, and that's what liberated souls do. And this sadhu sangha is the greatest activity. That's why you see Bhagavatam. Shukadev Goswami said the greatest activity is to do what Bhagavatam was doing. The book is. We're doing that. Sitting around discussing. That's all. See, Shukadev Goswami was discussing Krishna with Maharaj Parikshit live, And what was he discussing? What he heard from his father. It was the Bhagavatam. So we also are discussing what we have the book, discussing the book. Just like he's, before he could commit all that stuff to memory because it was a long time ago. People were Shuddhadaras back then. But now we have the book, we discuss the book, which is the same thing. That's why they wrote this stuff down, because of our poor memories now. Yeah. So we're doing what all liberated souls do, and that's why this is the easiest path. Because the easiest path is to come into association of liberated souls who are naturally attracted to discussing Krishna and Lord Caitanya and all these beautiful principles, which we are. That is the easiest way to advance from either an ordinary person in the world or a Vaidhi Bhakta to go to this stature. Otherwise, if you're trying to do it some other path or some other way, it'll take you lifetimes. See? That's why you couldn't do it with the Narayan Raj group. It was still a many lifetime thing, because there was still speculation. I couldn't rise to that platform of doing it. Here, we're ecstatic by doing this. Literally, the tears are coming. So many beautiful things. Ecstatic chanting, everything. This is the greatest place to be in this universe. And to be honest, unless this kind of thing is going on somewhere, this is the best place to be in the whole universe. Lord Caitanya came here, Krishna came here to show the greatest truth, the greatest truth, actually, and the greatest activities, and we're engaged in this. So that's why I just boldly tell people, I told you, all of you ISKCON, if there's anybody has any ears and you want to move to deliverance and be delivered in this life and to taste transcendental nectar and ecstasy, you come here and you have the best chance to do that without lots of troubles. But if you stay on your paths in ISKCON or Gaudiya Math or Samiti or Radhakund Babaji's, you'll have more troubles. Here, less troubles. And that's the truth. And maybe if there's somebody will hear, maybe 1 out of 1,000 Vaishnavas out there will hear that this is more truthful and grab onto this word. This is a rope. This is divine intervention. Otherwise, on the path you're doing, you have more troubles and more time to attain Krishna. Lifetimes. Just like your gurus, Narayan Raj told you, many lifetimes, Radhakund Babaji say the same thing. But this is the preaching of Lord Caitanya. This is the manifestation of Lord Caitanya's grace here and now, in this time. Check it out, man. Come spend 30 days. You're not going to be a loser. You've actually won the lottery. Come see that you won the lottery by being here.
No, Maharaj, that's so true.
No, Maharaj,
Sorry.
that's so true. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's so true because of everything we receive and the constant benefits that we receive, for our individual lives, that the things that we need to get closer to the Lord. It's just really, really happening. And this experience, of being here in truth and reality, my life is like going to university and hearing lectures, and you have to read these books, and then you discuss it. Then in another seminar, you will discuss these books. And because of my disability, I had some extra benefits, and I used to be able to record. It was really easy, actually, record the lectures and just record what they were saying, and then I could do a great, what they're called, essay. I could do a great essay and hear all of that stuff, to be able to hear your lectures, because I don't think I was really hearing. Here, I've been gradually taught to hear deeper, really deeper here, by clearing out obstacles. And you have been guiding this and teaching this for all of us. I've met so many teachers, with being in study, nothing like this, Maharaj. What you have given us, it's nothing like no other teacher can give us, before our whole eternal life. Because this life, like I was going to say, this life is like a blip, according to eternity. It's like a little bit blip. And to spend all our time and all our resources and everything to being able to live eternity here, like we're alive now in this body, and it's going to lead us to that life for eternity, spirit and truth, in spirit and truth. I could never have realized this. I could never have understood this. I never expect. The Lord, how great He is. It just goes on and on and on. How great He is, and you're bringing that through for us. And now we can bring that through to where we are as well. What other gang? What other corporation? What other team? Greatest teamwork. It's really good, and I can see now with the devotees how teamwork is like coming in together, for all of us to raise us up. You've taught us so well, into becoming a real transcendental team in spirit and truth. It lifts us above all sanghas, all teachings, all teachings. This is a real book of all eternal knowledge, and we have the greatest guides who's schooling us through this book. It's a great experience. It's a great experience. It's the only experience. There's so much movement inside now. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not really doing loads, but there's so much going on. There's so much going on. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're an inner traveler now. Yeah. That's what it's all about. This where the Lord has given us the greatest activity, this world, and it becomes more and more clear, not only to us but other ways that people are listening. Bhagavatam was spoken by Shukadeva Goswami and Mars Pariksit, and there was a few other people there listening, right? This Bhagavatam. Then they wrote it down. Right? So we're doing the same thing, but we're doing it in multimedia. So we got the book, we speak the book, and we're speaking like Mars Pariksit and Shukadeva Goswami, and we have it recorded, and they have video now. They didn't have it back then. So this is a record of, and people listening to this conversation, even the replays, they will, many, their hearts will awaken just like it did, chanting these verses again. It's so it's beneficial for everything and everybody. Yeah. So it's beautiful. Okay, so why don't we take a little break now? I need to get off my buttocks and move around a little bit. Yeah, 2 hours. It's pretty good, huh? Okay, my friends. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Huh? Hare Krishna.